All right then, so starting off with my first item on the list would be the clay pot. So I love this guy a lot. In short, it's a set of three. And I got it in 2023, right after my surgery when I had the fibroid removal. And this was a switch for me because I had cast iron pots, earlier, but I also wanted something I can always, replace with the cast iron pot. So I went for the clay pot. And when I got the clay pot, I didn't just get the pot alone. I also got the bowl for eating. This is very good for eating. I also had the cup, which is also very important. So this is the coaster and this is the cup. And for those who know, those who have like history, or they know history when it comes to these clay pot items, you remember that when you store water in this cup and you leave it for some hours, it definitely just gets cold on its own. But today we'll be talking about the cookware for clay pots. And one thing you need to note is when you buy your clay pot, ensure that you treat it. So what do I mean by treating it? So when you buy your clay pot from your vendor, you ensure that you treat it in water for 24 hours. So you soak it in a bowl, a very big bowl. Soak your clay pots or your clay plates or cup in the bowl you can do it overnight. Just ensure that it has taken in a lot of water. So once that is done, you can then sun dry. Sorry, don't sun dry, I mean you air dry it. Not to sun dry, but you just air dry it. Once you're done air drying it, you can then rub the pot with coconut oil or olive oil, or depending on the type of oil that you use at home, but not vegetable oil. So that is one phase of maintaining and keeping your clay pot intact. So after that process, you can then begin to use it for cooking. So now I've been using this clay pot now for at least 2 years since I bought them, and it has not failed me. So far so good. This is what it looks like inside. This is the cover here. I also have so this is the 1 liter size, and this is the 3 liter size. The biggest is the 6 liter size, and for this 3 liter size, I use it for soups, for vegetables. And one thing about the clay pot is that it is, aside from the fact that it is a healthy version for cooking, it's also a non-toxic cookware. So remember, we are talking about how to improve our health, this year. And this is one way you can improve your health through your food. So while cooking with your clay pot, all you need is just low heat. You don't need fire. You don't need a lot of fire. Look at this is the bottom part of the pot, and I've been using this for years. Can you see what it looks like? So you don't need a lot of fire. It just needs low heat to cook up your food. And one interesting part about the clay pot is that even while you switch off the fire, it just keeps boiling because of the heat that it has retained while cooking. So during that process, during that method, while you're cooking, you're making your meal, doing different steps, it has actually taken a lot of heat. So even when you turn off the fire, it still keeps boiling, it still keeps cooking. And that's one interesting part about cooking with clay pot. So in this day and age, I believe that for those who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, please embrace the clay pot. It is not for old people. It is not an ancient thing. It has been there for years, but we are in the modern stage where we need to, ensure that what we are putting in our mouth, because it starts from the kitchen. So we need to ensure that our tools and equipment, cookwares have to be very healthy, non-toxic, cookwares for us, just for us to, maintain and sustain our lifestyle. So I've talked about how you can use this, how you can maintain it. Of course, when you want to wash, it's easy to wash, honestly, very easy to wash. This is what the inner part looks like, very easy to wash. Let me show you the smaller size so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. This is it. This one was just recently washed. Very easy to wash. It doesn't retain old foods like particles and all, and you don't need hard scrubbing when you're washing it off. Maybe when you have something that maybe got burnt a little bit, you can just soak it up with water. When it's time for you to wash, you just use a softer sponge to wash it off, and it cleans off easily, and you can keep it again and use it for the next meal. So very important. And again, once you are done cooking, you can actually serve your meal in the clay plates. Drink water also too with a clay cup. I mean, it's It's a big meal already. So it's going from the pot to your plate, to your cup. And like I said again, this is just to maintain and sustain our lifestyle. And guys, guess what? I think when I bought mine, the entire set was about 55,000 naira. So I'll just put the link of the vendor in the description box below, just so that you can reach out to the person in case you're interested in it. It's not so much money, but it will last a lifetime if you maintain and sustain it very well, you know. So that's just one part for the clay pot.